Oh, howdy. Ah, what a nice day. Just took my salt and vinegar bath. It's kind of like going through a portal, coming out the other side, totally refreshed, clean. Today, I want to talk about thoughts, emotion, and action. A lot of times in my talks, I rant and I rave and I go off into Never Never Land and wherever. But for this one, I just want to focus in, talk about some very simple things that we all know, we all do, and what I've learned about it recently. You got to separate your thoughts from your emotions. Because you either have a thought and then you go and act upon that thought, or you have an emotion and then you act upon that emotion. So I want to discuss kind of what I've discovered is the best way of using your emotion and using your thoughts, and how to not just mix them up and let this place get the best of you. Your emotions are energy in motion. You feel it. It rises within you. If you're getting angry, it seems to rise and bubble up and take over and kind of make you mad when you get angry with your emotions. And there's plenty of reasons to get angry, plenty of things to look around at and get pissed off about. Other times your emotion is cool and calming and relaxing, and it kind of settles you down and you feel like everything's going to be all right. Everything's cool, crisp. That's how I feel right now. In a very chill state. It's the way I like to be. Your thoughts can go off in any direction. So you got to be careful about what you're thinking about all the time. You want to clear your thoughts as much as you can and just start from scratch every day. Look at it like a new life each time you wake up. The past is the past. It is what it is. What is today going to bring? I might have been wrong about what I was thinking in the past. Might need to forget it all and just restart with a new clean slate of thoughts. So I'm kind of trying to make the point of thinking things through instead of the knee-jerk emotional reaction that we have in these days. And I want to give you an example. It's kind of funny. I was just talking with my dad, and we're very different, but we're very alike. And a lot of times we seem to get in a talk about Israel, as I say it. You know, the J cult that shall not be named. You say anything bad about them, you're canceled, right? But how I use thought to examine the situation between Israel and Palestine. I'm not getting emotionally charged about it. it's kind of clear to me what's gone on and what's going on. My emotions aren't going to help either side, I think. I mean, I could get all emotionally charged about I used to be Christian and I used to think that the J cult was some chosen people, which is just so insane looking back and thinking about that. You could easily join that side and they're on God's side and that's the end of it. It's like whatever they do is acceptable and ordained by God, supposedly. Or you could take the Palestinian side and be like, holy cow, they're just getting slaughtered. They don't even have an army. They don't have any propaganda on the television to defend them, you know. And it's just, you could easily take a side, you know, and pit yourself against somebody else emotionally, because I don't see the point in the divisions over there. For the people living through it, it just seems horrible. You know, I just see a few the wars get to continue, the military contractors benefit. I just try not to think emotionally, but think through the thoughts of why it's even happening. It makes a lot more sense. It's just easy. Really easy. Easy pickings, easy money. You already have these things established. You have a division established that's supposedly thousands of years old. So I could just see how the people that like to divide and conquer humanity use these people. And they use their emotions, unfortunately. The people don't think clearly about the whole situation there and how somebody's got to move on and stop holding the grudge. But hey, I'm just talking about it. This is just my perspective. Who knows how that's all going to end up. But I think if you use your thoughts and you just take your emotions out of these situations, it's real obvious what's going on. But when you let the emotions swoop in before you can even think or research things or look into the history of it all, emotions swoop in, stop the thoughts, and put you in this side, and you're always on the good side. Your emotions are always going to be like, this is the good side. It feels good, right? Because they keep saying, you know, like, I'll take the perspective of the Western media and the news and, the terror attack and the babies. You just always hear about all these kids and babies that the terrorists came in and killed, and how, whoa, that's just horrible. And your emotions say, oh, that's bad. The other side is the bad guy. But if I take the Palestinians' perspective, they don't even get to protest. They don't even get to get medical supplies in Gaza as it used to. I mean, they don't get... It's just... It's a lot easier to take the emotional stance with the Palestinians because they're just being slaughtered. But you have to understand the whole game being played with people's emotions. They want to keep slaughtering these people so that their children fight against them and resist them. And then you can paint this picture of terrorism, and you can keep locking society down, and you can keep controlling the narrative. And it's where thought needs to override emotion, because emotion ain't getting us anywhere. with these wars and these divisions. So I just want to bring in the perspective of think about your life and these things in your life that you're emotionally charged about. How I need to have it this way or else. Like there's no alternative when you get emotions involved. I just see it as emotions are a very special thing for a special time. They're not supposed to be a way of living, per se. Like when you're with your lover and it's just you two, that's emotion time. There ain't no thought needed. It's just a beautiful thing happening. That's when the emotions need to arise and be used. When you're looking at it, a beautiful setting and you feel within you, it's a great emotion to view beauty, to be a part of it. But when it comes to warfare, just emotions don't fit. They make it worse. And I'm not saying you shouldn't be angry. Like, I get angry sometimes. It's just I can fizzle it out. I don't let the emotion take me over and make me act in a terrible way or in the wrong way. I've said it before. It's like when I get angry, it's just a log in the fire that I have inside. It's all mine. It's not a way for me to waste what I am or my energies here. It builds my energy. The more angry, when I look out and something makes me angry, I know that I've been doing the right thing. I know that I'm on the right path by talking about these things. And I know that I'm making a difference in my life at least, and probably a few others if I can. But the anger and then trying to act upon it and trying to say that this side needs to be killed or that side needs to be killed, you start using your mind and think that through, because it seems like it never ends when you join one side against the other side. You're sort of perpetually feeding each other. And so I propose that humanity starts to get out of the divisions, get out of the duality. What am I trying to think of? The dichotomy, when you only have two choices. People think there's only this or that choice. False dichotomy, I guess is what you'd call it, or delusional. I'm trying to say delusional, like there's only two ways of things. Humanity needs to start seeing the third way. And instead of saying there's this side and there's that side, there are no sides, guys. Does the sun and the moon take a side when they shine above us? Does the water take a side when it nourishes everyone? It's just not the way to be, you know. And so what I propose is I see this big dynamic of masters and slaves, right? There's all these masters who have all the tricks. They have the high technology. They have the television, the computer, the propaganda. They have all the military power. They kind of have psychologically figured out how people tick and how to manipulate their emotions. And it's just full force right now. It's just out in the open. They're just socially engineering, mind controlling, dividing, and conquering endlessly. And it's got to such a giant climax that people can't believe it. And so you have this group of people playing just the ultimate tricks on people. I call them the master class. They choose to take advantage of others and use them. It's fine. That's who they are. And then the other side, the slaves, there's something about, they don't like individuality. They want somebody else to tell them they were good, and they want a pat on the head. They want a God to tell them they were good. You know, they want an authority to check mark instead of just standing on their own and saying they're good and knowing they're good. I propose that we just all come clean, and I'm okay, you know, with the way things have been. People haven't been paying attention, doing their due diligence. They were tricked. And then the other side has just been tricking ruthlessly, and they're not going to stop. Okay, you see what's going on this year. They've started this year off with a big ritual bang, setting LA on fire. I mean, they really, they're so guilty, and they're, that they can't stop. Like these, I feel like the people in charge of this that have been manipulating society, creating all these divisions, it's just, they have no way out. They got to keep going with it. And then the people that have decided that conspiracies don't exist, I guess, or that evil could never do that. Evil could never come to that much power to where it's captured the good and the bad, and it plays it off against each other. You know, people need to grow up more, use their imagination and their thoughts, and clearly see what's going on here. I'm able to forgive both sides. Like I said, I'm not on either side. I'm not a master. I'm not a slave. I'm a peacemaker, kind of mixed in the middle of all this. I feel like that's my purpose. Kind of provide a bridge between both sides. You know, you guys got to stop having these master-slave relationships, having these crazy wars. And I think a lot of it hinges on your emotion and your life and what you keep telling yourself. Clear your thoughts out. There's no reason to hold grudges. Try to look within yourself to see what's gone wrong instead of outside. It's so easy to point fingers and get emotionally charged. I mean, I understand how you could join the Palestinians. I understand how you could join the J cult. I see how you could be a Redumlican or a demon rat. I see how you could be an American or a Russian. All the stories you've been told add up. You're the good guy every time, and they keep telling you that. But it's all emotionally based. It's not logical. When you think it through and your thoughts are clear, it's a very silly emotional state people get trapped in here. So, you know, I could ramble on and on and on. But I think I'll leave it there. I love you all. Enjoy yourselves.